Hey everyone, welcome back to PandaJack Plus. Today I'll be taking a look at the new Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Vector Prime. That's a mouthful. I don't know how I got this figure so early. Usually Big Bad Toy Store takes like a millennia to ship out their orders, but hey, I'm not complaining. So for a brief history for those who aren't aware, basically this figure isn't all that new. All the way back in Legacy they released the G-Axis figure, which you all know how that worked out for me, but a couple of years later they took the same mold and repurposed it into Vector Prime from Transformers Cybertron. Long story short, I hate this thing, get it away from me. However, now with the release of the new Age of the Primes line, they're taking the same figure and giving it a whole new paint job. Admittedly, I was super skeptical of this release, considering, I don't know if you know this already, but I kinda dislike the original. However, I can thankfully say that this figure is like slightly better. There was some part of me that was hoping this would completely save the figure for me, but I'm still just kinda lukewarm on it. The new paint job is definitely a major improvement, and the joints are a lot more solid than the last one, but it's just not enough to make me love it. The original paint job is based on his look in Transformers Cybertron, with all the grays, the pinks, and golds. Meanwhile, this figure is based on one of the old toys from that time, with all the orange and black, which I think looks pretty great and fits in with these new primes really nicely. Something else that's really cool about this paint job, which I hope isn't just a mistake, are all these little dots around the orange parts. It might be hard to pick up on camera, but there are all these like random shiny dots all over him that look like stars or something, which I think is a really cool detail and adds to this guy being a god in the Transformers universe. Now, while I haven't technically used this guy in any of my animations, I have used the G-Axis version a lot, which is essentially the same thing as I've said, so overall he's actually pretty fun to animate, even if the legs and feet have a tendency to slip while trying to move him at all, but the addition of the finger articulation is super cool for a Voyager and give him so much more personality in Annihilation too. Wait, did I just say articulation? Vector's got a ball joint at the head which allows for some side to side and a full 360, arm can rotate a full 360, but the back pieces can kind of get in the way, arm moves out, the shoulder pad can go down if you want, bicep swivel, a pretty decent elbow bend, wrist rotation, and a hinge on the fingers which is super cool. Waist can rotate a full 360, legs can kick up, not that far back because the back pieces again, and out. Thigh rotation, pretty good knee bend, foot can go up and down, and an ankle pivot. Turning him around, you can also use the hinges on the back pieces to position them however you'd like. The poseability on this guy is actually pretty damn good. There are a lot of places that can do full 360s, which can let you do all kinds of wacky poses, but at the same time, the back pieces limit some of it too. If these pieces weren't here, I think I would like him a lot more, though I guess they get what I wanted, because they just break off pretty easily. In that sense, these pieces are more like accessories. Accessories? Did I just do another shitty transition? This figure comes with two accessories, this key thing, which is a reference to something from Cybertron, I think. I don't know, I haven't watched it. But his other accessory is the Blade of Time. Vector Prime is the prime of time and space, someone who can travel the multiverse at will. This sword helps him do that, slicing holes in the reality around him in order to travel through time. Yes, I had to look this up on the wiki. Still, it looks pretty cool, just like all the other relics from this toy line. They even painted Vector's symbol onto the blade right here, which is a nice touch. I don't really know why there's a hinge on the handle though, it doesn't really seem to do anything. I guess in a way, it transforms. Transformation time. Please subscribe so I can learn how to write better transitions. And here he is in his spaceship mode. Yep, it is definitely a spaceship. I found this alt mode a little boring, probably because it's the third time I've had to see it, but it still reveals some pretty cool painting and sculpting. Like the entire front of it has these cool gear details scattered throughout, and when you go up more, there's even a cool little cockpit. Even when you get to the back, sure, most of it is unpainted, but there's still a lot of cool sculpted detail like the wires and stuff. For the most part, everything holds together really nicely, apart from the wing pieces again, as well as the arm at the bottom, but that's all I really have to say about it though. I mean, it's just a pretty decent spaceship, so let's get him back into robot mode for the size comparison. Here he is next to the old Vector Prime, G-Axis, Age of the Primes Prima, Alpha Trion, Solus, and Megatronus. For a Voyager class, this guy actually stands on the bigger side, but it's at the cost of lower plastic quality compared to Prima or something. Still, seeing him next to Prima and all the other primes from this toy line is super cool. It's a shame I'm starting these reviews pretty late into this toy line, because I would have loved to review them all as they were coming out. But hey, if there's any other prime you'd like to see me review next, leave it in the comments below. Overall, I think this figure is slightly anticlimactic. It's the figure that finally closes out all the 13 primes, and it's just good. If you're trying to collect all the primes like I am, then sure, I'd recommend him. Otherwise, I'd say look for any of the other Voyager primes, like Nexus or Amalgamus. I feel like they have more to offer than this guy, especially if you already have the first release of him or G-Axis. Putting him on the tier list, I think I just have to put him right in the middle at B tier. But what do you guys think of this figure? And also, what other figures would you like to see me review next? Let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next review.